The humble credit sequence has long been a mainstay of cinema, letting moviegoers know that, yes, this film was made by real people, with names and weird job titles that sound a bit like sex acts. Best boy, cable puller, assistant Jimmy Jib operator. Of course, credit sequences were also incredibly dull. No one wants to sit through 10 minutes of scrolling text in a darkened room. Frankly, the only practical purpose they serve is so you don't have to look at the faces of the sad weirdos that populate cinemas while you make a hasty exit, or to tip your popcorn over the guy in front of you before legging it.
Cheese it!
This tradition has made its way into video games, except the credits are even longer and the job titles are even weirder. But to simply scroll a list of text misses the point of the medium. It's meant to be interactive. Fortunately, some games have made more of the credit sequence, making them as much a part of the game as all the interactive action that came before it. But which games do it best? Sit back, relax, and enjoy this collection of 13 of the best video game credit sequences around. Is it a game? Is it interactive art? Who knows? But if floating on a breeze and collecting petals is your idea of a day well spent, then Flower fits the bill nicely. Its credit sequence continues the arty theme, letting you float your way through the names of developers while listening to some plinky piano tunes. Pretentious. Only real men get to enjoy the interactive credits of Rayman Origins, which appears after completing the majorly tricky Land of the Dead bonus level. Now you can destroy the names of those hard-working devs that made the game. Take that, core game level programmer David Punset. Yeah, getting to the end of the movies means playing through the actual game, which was enough to make you want to claw your own eyes out. Still, if you made it that far, you were treated to this lovely montage of the development team acting silly, including Peter Molyneux stroking a cat. It almost makes up for the fact the game was balls. Almost. SPLOSION Man does away with the scrolling credits for an astonishingly absurd sequence featuring a real-life Splosion Man punching developers in the face, which is set to a falsetto-fueled cock rock soundtrack. I'm not sure what they were smoking when they came up with this one, but I'd imagine doing so makes this at least 30 to 40% funnier as a result. For something less random and altogether more adorable, make sure you make it to the end of Plants vs Zombies, which features a sunflower and a zombie horde singing a catchy little ditty about petal eating and being, you know, dead. So cute. Only the best Guitar Hero 3 players get this ending. Complete the game on Expert and you get the chance to play Dragon Force's ludicrously cheesy epic Through the Fire and the Flames as the credits roll. Trying to play through it gives you just enough time to realise you've completely wasted your life playing a fake instrument when you could have been playing a real one and impressing girls. Think about it. As if there wasn't enough ass-kicking in Devil May Cry 3, the end credits give you another chance to bring the pain by pitting you against an endless wave of enemies while those lovely developer names scroll. Video game violence for the win! Vanquish was an excellent and very Japanese take on the third-person shooter. It's a shame that nobody actually bought it. But hey, if you did and you made it through to the end, you were treated to a pretty cool space shooter where developer names floated by on explodable asteroids. If you want customers to pay attention to your hard-working team, this is the way to do it. I love Sam & Max. It was, and still is, one of the funniest games I've ever played. Plus, it too lets you do something other than scratch your balls while you watch the end credits. You can shoot stuff in a fairy ground style shooting gallery, complete with a silhouette cutout of famous LucasArts characters. Look, there's a tentacle! As if trying to balance a monkey in a ball for several hours wasn't enough, SEGA threw one more challenge at you with the end credits. While you desperately tried to collect more delicious bananas, developer names fall from the sky, making it very tricky to make your way through. In fact, it's so tricky that I rage quit and paid no attention to the developer names at all. Nice work, SEGA. It's odd to think that a serious action beat-em-up like God Hand would feature a fully choreographed dance scene in the credits. Then you remember that you've just spent your time trying to crush enemies with a giant floating hand. See? Makes sense now. Speaking of dancing, everyone's favourite witch/ass kicker, Bayonetta goes for broke in the end credits by draping herself around a pole and getting a groove on. Oh, and there's a bit where you can actually play the game and beat the crap out of more enemies while the credits roll. But that's not what you're thinking about, is it? You sick bastard.
This was a triumph.
The greatest end sequence of all time? Well, it's not interactive, but it features one of the best video game songs of all time. It's so good that you don't actually mind sitting there while watching the credits roll. And that, my friends, is an amazing achievement. We salute you, Portal. Keep on rocking.
Because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying.